Hi, everybody.
It's
Hey,
March in
team.
here. Why is it so high up?
It's
Huh?
March in here.
Uh,
What do you mean?
What do you
Was
mean?
Why
that
is
a
the chat
VTuber
so high
prop?
up?
on the chat.
oh, that's a
Oh, the chat.
great question. I don't know why that's like that. Give me a second.
Chat,
hi.
run while you can.
Welcome back to Edgeworth. I think that's going to be...
There.
I need to recrop it just a little bit more. There we go.
Did we skip a week of this? Is that what happened?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe 2?
Spring break.
I don't know. We were... I don't remember exactly where we were. There was baby...
In the past!
Baby...
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we were talking about how cool
Baby
it was
K.
that Gumshoe was eating that Swiss roll.
roll.
Yeah, the Swiss roll was really tasty.
rolls.
Yeah, we really
Oh,
got
you
the
got the wrong
details
hat
about the
on.
Swiss roll situation.
And we might get even more. Oh yeah, and I think we were stopped just before this.
And Kay's here.
Baby.
Peppy.
Swiss rolls!
Baby.
Your
That's
father's
not-
dead.
Oh, right. Okay. Waking up. Not a long day. We're all a little tired.
We.
Okay.
I'm a wee.
Everybody...
K.
but-
K. 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 What kind of person was your father?
Daddy was a hero of justice. His job was to catch all the bad people in the world.
So to you, a prosecutor is a hero of justice, sir? I suppose we are in a sense, as we are the ones who seek guilty verdicts for criminals.
Plus, you know what? Whenever I came to the courthouse, Daddy would buy me my absolute favorite treat, Swiss rolls.
Let's go.
Oh.
I want to be a hero of justice someday, just like Daddy. So I've been working really hard.
I see. And what have you been working hard on?
I've been working hard to keep all the promises Daddy and I made together.
Oh!
It's a notebook.
Why are they twisting the knife?
Oh, because it's dead.
A promise notebook. May I take a look inside, Kay?
Sure, okay.
It appears to be an exchange diary of sorts between father and daughter. I'm going to sneeze.
Bless
You're
you.
allergic to adorableness.
Bless you,
Mr.
kid.
Oh. Sneezing like Phoenix Wright in here. Mr. Faraday's writing conveys a sense of the kind of man he was. This little notebook might come in handy later.
Ba-da-ba, you got the notebook.
Time to read the notebook.
Yeah, let's read that, actually.
400 promises.
Kay's promises to Daddy. Promise 1, never take things from a stranger. Promise 2, never go anywhere with a stranger. Promise 3, always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Promise
Unless
4,
they're a stranger.
never cry in front of strangers. Promise 5, always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand.
Except for strangers.
Daddy's job is to make sure that everyone follows the rules. Kay, be a good girl and promise that you'll keep your promises to me, okay? Love your daddy.
Oh. Well, thank you for showing it to me, Kay. I hope you continue to work hard and become a hero just like your father.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, so I'm a detective that catches the bad people, right? So I'm not a stranger. That makes me a hero, too.
Yeah, you're really cool too, Gummy.
Aww.
Yeah, aren't I? I'm cool.
What is it with the two of them?
This still.
That was also Jay?
Yes,
think
you,
so.
yeah.
I hand down verdicts of justice, so that makes me a hero, too.
Yes, and it is thanks to your oh-so-heroic testimony, you almost painted that detective as a vile criminal and sent him off to jail.
Yay!
I'm really sorry about that.
Gummy is not a bad man, okay?
That poor judge. He's been treated like a vile criminal rather than a hero of justice. It appears that you and Detective Gumshoe are good friends, Kay.
Yeah, we're friends.
In that case, would you mind telling me a little more about him?
Sure.
But what about Swiss rolls?
We'll get to it.
So I take it that you ran into Detective Gumshoe earlier?
Yep. I was on my way to see Daddy when I saw Gummy standing there. He was standing in the hallway staring really hard at the vending machine, so I said hi.
And when was this?
Huh? Oh, before everything got crazy.
How long were the two of you together?
We only talked for a little while. And then we went our own ways.
That's right, pal. Kay and I only talked for a little while, and that's it.
Oh, which means... We have now confirmed that Kay was in the hallway during the recess, isn't that right?
You got me.
I told her to stop picking on Gummy, mister!
Yeah.
Very well, then.
Yeah.
I'll just have to speak with the good detective in private later.
Swiss rolls.
Can I
Swiss
grab you
rolls.
with a Swiss roll?
rolls.
We're the one who bought this pack of Swiss rolls, Kay.
Well... I didn't really have a lot of money. And I somehow made $1 out of all the pennies and quarters I had. But that still wasn't enough, and I really, really wanted one.
Come to think of it, she did come and ask me to exchange a handful of change for $1. And that's when you came in and asked me to change your money, correct?
Yeah, thanks a bunch for doing that, mister.
Sure. But let me ask you, even with that $1, you still didn't have enough, correct?
Well, that's why...
Hey, if you bully Kay anymore, I'm gonna have to arrest you, pal.
Need I remind you that you're the one already under arrest?
But we fix it again!
I sense that Kay is going to be less than forthcoming with this question.
Sorry about your roughly thing.
Yes, well, now that it's positively drenched in your nasal mucus.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't worry, Kay, I have a spare. So here, you can have this one. Cursed!
But,
Ascotless Edgeworth?
yeah,
Curse.
but Daddy said never take things from a stranger.
Ah, it's one of those promises you made in your promise netbook, correct?
Yeah, look, see? It's right here on this page.
Hey, we read that.
Look, it's that thing we read.
Alright, then I'm not giving this to you. I'm merely allowing you to borrow it. You take it home, wash it nice and clean, and then give it back to me the next time we meet.
Okay. Daddy never said I couldn't borrow things from strangers.
Borrow things forever.
Back up,
You got him the second one.
Now then, Detective Gumshoe.
Oh.
I believe it is now crystal clear that you are with little Kay in that hallway.
I told you to stop being mean to Gummy. Miles Edgeworth, there is still something you have yet to resolve.
I beg your pardon.
you still haven't offered an explanation for why that man would lie to us.
That's... well...
Gummy, don't tell me you lied for my sake.
Hey, don't worry about it, Kay. Everything's gonna be okay.
So that's why.
So what was Detective
Stab.
Gumshoe's motive for lying? If you can't explain that, then you can't call this a perfect investigation.
His reason for lying is very simple.
What?
It's actually.
It's actually, like, really easy?
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
I'm a television now.
This is our new mascot.
Matches the code.
Yeah.
Charles
Here's what I
bought an
believe.
upgrade.
Challenge by is fancy now.
Oh no.
Here's what I believe to be his reason. From simple observation of the detective's actions and his interactions with Kay, it's obvious the detective was lying for the young girl's sake. And this piece of evidence will show you exactly why.
Actually, I was lying for her sake, but it's fine.
She's a child. She doesn't have any sake. That's illegal.
Well, going back to
It's
jail.
been how many weeks?
2, 3,
I don't know.
10.
100.
What's the
Okay.
current question?
So, I think Gumshoe was saying at a earlier point that he was the only person in the hallway and that he never saw anybody, but clearly he saw Kay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what we're trying to disprove? Or prove, rather?
I think it's more
Maybe.
why.
Oh, we're asking why it was so important for him to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did he do it? Not like
I don't-
did he do it?
You don't need to remember something from last week. It happened just now.
Hang on. Never take things, never go anywhere. Make people smile, never cry.
Gummy's a stranger, right?
Yeah, but why is...
She is treating him not like one.
I mean, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I'll try it.
Mr. Faraday and Kay's promise notebook? How does this explain anything?
If you could take a look at this page, it's written clearly. It's clearly written that Kay should never take things from a stranger. When Detective Gumshoe heard about that promise, he tried to cover for Kay.
What a foolish fool's fool of a foolish reason for a fool!
Okay, you're gonna have to
He's not
choose
wrong.
your fools carefully.
Never.
Ah, hell!
Gummy, you lied because of me, didn't you?
Because I'm your friend, Kay, that's why.
Bro's gonna go to
Gummy?
jail.
He don't care.
At long last, Detective Gumshoe, can you please tell me the whole truth now?
Well, guess there's no beating you, huh, pal? Okay, I'll spill the goods. I've been standing guard for a while, drooling at the Swiss roll. And I was getting real hungry, and that snack vending machine was taunting me.
But all the cash that you had on you was $5, and that wasn't enough to buy anything, right? After all, the cheapest item on that machine is a $6 pack of Swiss rolls.
Yeah. But then, like an angel from heaven, Kay showed up with $1.
I was thinking about sharing a snack with Daddy. So I wanted to buy a Swiss roll. But I only had $1 in coins.
So we pooled my $5 and her $1 together. And bought a pack of delicious Swiss rolls together.
But I was worried about breaking one of my promises. So then Gummy said,
Oh, Mr. Faraday there's one scary guy when he gets mad. But don't worry, you won't get in trouble if I don't tell, right? Besides, you bought it with me with $1. So you really didn't get it from me, you know.
he told me it'd be okay. And gave me a whole roll to save and give to Daddy. Who knew that Scruffy would be so considerate?
Ooh, music.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
Indeed.
Oh. It was just a reference to chat. Daylight savings happened, so for you, Marcus, it's an hour early for another
yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Time has changed here a little bit in the U.S. of A. So
Yeah.
if we're
It will
an
happen
hour,
for us.
if we're an hour earlier, that's why it's 7 p.m. for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna be at the regular times, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. That's when everything goes normal again.
We figured it out.
When the timelines converge.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, indeed.
And I said that.
I know.
Indeed. Detective, I take it that you then sat down on the bench and ate the rolls together.
Yeah, we split the other roll and ate it right then. Yeah, we ate that one. The sweet taste of that chocolate cake. I'll never forget it as long as I live, pal.
Anyway. Okay, I believe this also belongs to you.
Oh, that's from the balloon I popped. It's bad manners to leave garbage lying around, Kay. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Well, I guess I can't blame you for not throwing this one piece away. It was sitting high up on a windowsill where you couldn't see it. So just this once, I forgive you. But that balloon... I wanted to surprise Gummy a little, so I popped it on purpose. And because of me, Gummy dropped his half of the Swiss roll.
Oh, you really got me there, pal.
So, I thought maybe I should give Gummy this other roll. And then I saw you picking on Gummy, mister.
So you kicked me, is that it?
You sure are a feisty one. Whoops. I'm really sorry, mister.
That's alright, I'm perfectly unharmed.
For the
For now.
I said, like a liar. But about this Swiss roll. Would it be alright with you if I held onto it until Detective Gumshoe is cleared of all charges and free to go?
No,
Yeah,
Wait.
sure.
hold on,
Just make sure you give it to Gummy afterwards, okay?
please.
Of course, I promise.
I'm a bit hungry.
Oh no.
Oh,
Now then, I believe you have proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway for the entire duration of his duty. Which undeniably proves that Detective Gumshoe could not have committed the double murders.
No.
It's me.
Hi.
Actually, it proves just the opposite, Edgeworth. You just shown that Detective Gumshoe is the only one who could have committed the crime.
What do you mean?
It's quite rude to eavesdrop, Miss You.
I love her.
I'm getting lectured on manners. By a girl with a penchant for whipping people.
What? How dare you talk back with such insolence? You're wrong, lady. Gummy's not the bad guy.
Can we sit
Oh.
down? My sciatica's really setting in, actually.
No. And what do we have here? What is a child doing here in the courthouse?
I love the judge's stance.
Buffalo?
Me.
Danganronpa pose.
For real?
Buffaleaf, please take this child away.
No!
Oh,
Get back here!
Miss Callisto, you! That girl is Mr. Faraday's.
I know. So what? You think just because she's the victim's daughter, she gets to run wild all around the crime scene? I think it's actually quite dangerous for her, to speak nothing of getting underfoot.
I suppose you're right. However, as long as we're in agreement on that point, let's.
As
No.
long as we're in agreement
No.
on that point. Let's get back to the real issue at hand.
Hmm.
Now then, detective. Detective, you were in the front of the door to lobby number 2 the entire time, correct?
Well, yeah, but
You see? Isn't it obvious that it could only be the detective? He is the only person who would have gone into the lobby number 2 at the time of the murders.
I have no counter-argument to that.
Don't worry, I already put in the necessary paperwork for his formal arrest.
But the investigation is far from over.
Oh, that's right. I was going to speak with you about that. Don't you think it's reckless to talk to the suspect out in the open without a guard?
I suppose it is.
Well, as someone with more experience in law than you, I'd like to share something. Not the badge. Always keep a good eye on a criminal, or you may regret what comes from your negligence.
Ooh. Miles, I can't believe you're letting this woman lecture you like this. This is unforgivable as a disciple of Von Karma.
Down, Tigress. Tigress? Tigress?
Tigers.
Tigress.
Dugas.
Tigress. Okay. I'll ignore Jace.
Hey!
Now then, I'll be looking forward to the result of your investigation.
So, we're back to square one.
Actually, this is our last chance. I can tell that if we fail to solve this case, Detective Gumshoe will be formally charged under all the circumstantial evidence. This investigation is not over yet. There's still one location we have yet to inspect. It's where Detective Bad and Miss Yu were at the time of the crime. Lobby number 1.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Are we gonna implicate you?
Not
I
me.
didn't do anything.
Not you!
No,
Yeah.
I didn't do
No.
anything.
What?
Well, maybe Jay did something. He drank Baja Blast.
You did it!
I
They
The
did this on
truth
purpose.
behind
Bye.
the KG8 incident.
The truth come out in September.
I'm sorry, Jay, but the truth had to come out.
No, doesn't. That's because it explains my complexion and the color of my skin.
What is that overpowering sweet scent?
It smells like flowers. Uncle Bad, is this it?
Isn't that Detective Bad and K over there?
nah.
It looks like she managed to escape the Baffa leaf.
That's not how we
I
pronounce
have
it.
ruined that word forever.
What?
Yeah.
You haven't heard?
That's not quite it.
Aw, too bad. But it's so pretty.
I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it.
Thanks. I'll treasure it always.
Those who seem to get along rather well.
Oh, here. I've got something else for you.
Yay! Thank you,
More
Uncle
of
Bad.
them.
Uncle Bad. Yeah.
Uncle Bad.
Unky.
Unky. Yum, 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 yum. Earlier, I ate one of these with Gummy.
Gummy? Oh, you mean Gumshoe.
Gummy is...
Don't salt your Swiss rolls.
He was trying to be nice to me because I was gonna get in trouble. And then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Gummy. I
Sad
know he
snapping.
didn't kill Daddy.
Don't cry. Faraday would be sad if he saw you crying.
I'm not
Hey.
crying. Hey, thank you.
Hey!
Hey,
Is
thanks,
that a
Sam.
ham? From
Yo,
the odd
thanks.
sandwich?
Okay.
Oh, it's the mister from before, and the lady too.
Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being?
You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant,
Aw.
so I
Are you
am
now?
related to the investigation.
And fuck you.
And fuck you.
Is that so, Detective Bad?
Yeah, I guess.
Everyone
Why
needs a
not?
silly little girl.
Still a little sidekick.
Yeah.
What? You were just scolding us like kids to not mess up the crime scene, and now you let this child run free? Why?
He knows this child.
He's cuter than you.
People are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. You had a few things she wanted to look into. Got a problem with that?
Ugh.
I don't have a problem with that, but I am curious as to what Miss Yu is looking into.
Uncle Bad, I'm gonna go look somewhere else now, okay?
All right, I'm counting on you.
Oh, that's right. Hey, mister.
Yes, what is it?
I know Gummy really isn't the bad guy. I mean it. So, please, find the real bad guy, okay?
I want to forgive whoever did this. But in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there is no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. She wandered off while I was pondering.
Bye.
Bothering?
Pondered off while I was wandering.
Ooh.
Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for?
None that concerns you, boy.
Oh,
I'm not a boy, I'm a man.
and I suppose
right.
it has something to do with Kay.
It does because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. I don't have time to waste.
Every time he pulls out that mirror, I think it's like a big lollipop.
Oh,
He just puts it in his
Fair.
mouth.
Yeah,
that. I mean, there's no proving that he's smoking right now. To be
that's
honest.
true.
Yeah.
Stop staring at me with those big old
I'm worried
big
about your
eyes.
neck.
Don't be.
He has the game
We're in
ready.
for yours.
Oh. It sounds like he'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again.
I don't have anything to say to you.
Be that as it may, we still have questions that we need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is the overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate.
It's that ultra strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and opened the window, but that smell's still here.
Perfume, So the sweet scent in the air, it is perfume.
Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet some cheap no-name brand.
She said it's a famous brand from overseas.
Maybelline.
It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff.
No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl. You can have it.
I was born for a much more expensive and refined perfume. However, seeing as you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it.
And she
Miles
never
Edgeworth,
stops using it.
you will hold on to this bottle without fail!
Yes, score!
Oh.
Why can't she ever be honest about her wants?
Mine. Given to bad by you, same perfume as the one spilled in lobby number 1.
And Jen.
Now the perfume Miss Yu wears, just fantastic.
Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigating.
Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about.
Shh.
How about during the recess?
So, you were in this room the entire recess?
Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here.
Girl, why do you always talk when I'm taking a sip of water?
At least your story is consistent.
Francisca says do not take a sip.
She wants me to die.
Suffer.
Dehydrate, bitch. Earlier, you...
Damn it.
Now everybody has to take a sip.
Good one, Dubby. Earlier, you stated that you were in this lobby with Miss Yu.
Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway.
Yeah, talk while drinking like me and Echoes of Wisdom.
Please, God, no.
And Jay and Echoes of Wisdom.
Stop this.
She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here. Don't choke on your water, Gumshoe.
That's fine, pal.
Don't choke your Baja Blast either.
Then, what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in two different locations.
Guess I am. Yeah.
Colonel.
Interesting.
Metal Gear.
Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you.
Ugh.
Let's see, Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG8 incident. And as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on the case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece, but because you were the lead detective on the case.
You knew?
I also know that today's trial involving the Kodopian Embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG8 incident. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me. And told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday. And the KG8 incident!
If you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell ya.
Okay.
Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG8 incident. I forgot this is young Edgeworth. I should make his voice a little higher.
It's fine.
It's not exactly a happy story. Other than the people who were directly involved, you two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell.
Secrets.
Eee.
It is a
was
lollipop.
the whole time.
Yeah!
The reveal.
Oh, we knew that.
I've been waiting for this since the beginning. I knew he had it. I was just like, when is it happening, man?
This guy's got so many twists. It's twist after twist after twist. It's the best.
The honest truth behind the KG8 incident.
Sanji!
Yeah.
Faraday, you and I. As you already know, we three were involved with the KG8 incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring.
You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amana Group's secretaries?
That trial was just a front.
A facade.
Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed.
Then what became of the secretary who was arrested?
His name was Colin Deveray. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring, but
The
confessed.
last chapter.
he confessed to knowing about it anyway.
This is the guy that was undercover as the butler that died in
Yeah.
the amusement park chapter.
Mhm.
Sneaky Dad?
Yes,
This is Sneaky Dad.
this is Sneaky Dad.
Deveray was probably being intimidated by the big boss man, just another scapegoat.
The boss man of the Amano Group. You can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. It can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bad's personal hypothesis. What is he trying to do, suspecting Mr. Amano of being involved with smuggling?
I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he had confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Manny Cochin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted of once of her murder, Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go?
If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him.
That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, CC, I was supposed to protect them both.
Missy, you did mention that as well. About how Detective Bad was supposed to guard his sister.
But even I, who was supposed to protect them, I fell into their trap.
What kind of trap?
The holes in this jacket are a testament to that trap.
You mean you were fired upon?
You were shot at that many times in one gunfight?
All except one. This one was Gumshoe. Now there's two. Good job, buddy.
Not even flinching.
Why would he be afraid?
He knows he won it.
No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG8 incident.
Hello. Maisie, what are you doing?
Cat.
Wait, let's see if I
Yo.
You want to say hi? You want to say hello?
Refuses.
She refuses to say hello.
But she will punch the microphone.
Yeah,
There
she
we go.
will.
Hello, Maisie.
I'm easy.
I see.
I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. Oh my god, there's a cat. We had hit a brick wall as far as the law was concerned. Jesus Christ.
You're so cute.
Goddamn. And that's when she came to the courtroom.
I wonder, can we put the cat down?
Okay.
Thank you.
I just love her so much.
Yeah, but
We
like
do
kind of
too.
Feel mutual.
We do too.
And
It
that's
is
when she came
mutual.
to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu.
What is your relation to you?
Apart when you first
For me.
met Miss Yu, back into character, no more cats. It was on the day the verdict of the KG8 incident was handed down, was it not?
Yes, Faraday and I, we apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face.
Oof.
Well, she certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough.
You care that much for me?
Shut up.
Har har.
Aw.
I suppose not. You said it herself, that she never wanted to see either of us ever again.
But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct?
Yeah. Faraday and I, even after the KG8 incident had come to a close, we continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring.
Is the ring really that big?
It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor, and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney.
Her client was related to the smuggling ring and she was defending them?
Yeah. You was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rail this time for the same reason.
Come to think of it, Missy, you did say something to the same effect.
I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG8 incident, alright?
And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer.
Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I can get close to Mr. Rell was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him. Ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to.
It doesn't matter what her reason was. Helping a criminal is just despicable.
You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are.
How dare you insult the daughter of the Von Karma?
Easily.
Just like us, you felt that she had hit the limit of what the law could do. I mean, I'll insult him. I don't even care. That's all.
The law is merely a tool. There is no limit to it, only the skill of the craftsman.
You two are still too young, but one day, you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all.
How about your relation to Faraday?
So what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well.
I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together.
But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagrasu case.
Did we touch a nerve?
I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either.
I sense that there's more of this statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagarasu is what's necessary.
Yatagarasu.
You claim to know much about the Yatagarasu. Would you care to share what you know with me, your new best friend, Edgeworth?
What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel.
I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Yatagarasu.
What?
The KG8 incident and this second KG8 incident. Both of these are cases tied to the smuggling ring. And in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ. And that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yatagarasu. Mr. Rad claimed to be the Yatagarasu, however, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd?
Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already!
Impossible.
I believe that there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time.
A reason, huh?
And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday's and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu.
If it'll help you solve this case, then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yatagarasu.
What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident. But
It still accidentally whipped me anyway.
There are three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind, ever.
I see. So those are the Yatagarasu's special traits.
Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief.
The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I knew that Rel wasn't the real Yatagarasu right away.
But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't.
Listen, little girl, I'm not done talking yet.
Ugh.
What's different about this time was the evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the office. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kadopian embassy, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu sent the evidence.
Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a select few others knew about.
In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yatagarasu who sent it?
That's easy. A special card that only the Yatagarasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure.
Just what sort of card is it?
Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the Yatagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Rel about what was being sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was.
Ah, that's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yatagarasu now.
Hi.
Who wants to be the
Speak.
buffalo?
Well?
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth!
Yes?
His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from the trial today to you. Do you want it? So, if you can please head over to the courtroom, I'd be much appreciated, sir.
Understood. I'll be there shortly. By the way, today is your first day working at this courthouse, isn't it?
Yes, actually.
Well,
Wow.
I look forward to working with you for many years to come.
I'm going to lose my job to another guy.
Detective that was me just saying, it's like, oh, even the Boffleaf is
Same guy.
who we love so much. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you?
Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive.
I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself. And to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty.
Anyways.
September.
Can I please sit down?
No.
Why are you still standing, bro?
Oh, shoot. Mr. Edgeworth,
It appears that his honor is still a bit dispirited. He's so sad.
For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand, and I just keep standing. I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give a testimony.
Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict.
Francisca, there is no need to further depress his honor.
But I'm not trying to, Miles.
Your honor? Your honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me.
He...
Your Honor, the evidence? Your Honor!
Oh, yes, how can I help you?
I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir.
Your Honor, do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job?
Yes, I'm so sorry, Abner. And I would, except that the defense attorney has yet to arrive.
She is busy with the investigation, so let's keep this brief, shall we?
Very well. In that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell are also included. So please go ahead and use them in your investigations into the case.
Understood, Your Honor. Pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of these two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. Maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth.
Ooh.
I've placed all the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you.
I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm that they are all accounted for.
Okay, let's take a look.
Stop staring at me, Edgeworth.
Stop staring at me with those big old eyes.
You keep staring at me. Wow.
Stop staring with those small old eyes.
There's something I want to tell you.
Slap.
I've been thinking about you so much lately. Okay, so this is the evidence related to today's Catopian embassy trial from Mr. Faraday's bag.
You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right?
Yes, I can now take a look at the evidence itself, not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time.
Agreed. I want to take a good look at all of the evidence from the embassy murder, too.
And why is that?
Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about. Ah!
Yeah. Don't point your crop at me.
Yeah.
Just because you don't know something. Yes, it's clearly
You're probably
pointing at
standing in
me.
weird angles.
Yeah. And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today.
I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma.
It's also real to see the knife up close.
So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope. And what's this organizer doing here? Judge.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to tell you. Wait, I'm here.
About what, Your Honor?
They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help in his investigation.
Detective Bad said that.
What a strange stroke of luck.
Well, I never looked at gift. Should I say it? Vote now on your
Yes.
phones.
Yes.
I was
Well,
smashing
never
the
lick a never lick a gift horse in the mouth. We might as well flip through it too. Won't rest until I've inspected everything.
Good.
This gun. It was originally used to kill a Cadopian embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest.
And
Then this gun
This gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic.
Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence.
Okay.
Nice.
So about that question, Dachi.
When is someone going to make a book of Ace Attorney?
I feel like that exists. That might be.
We
out.
looked it up.
We looked it up. I think
think-
it's just chapter 1.
Yeah.
Well, that's are you gonna go past that point?
Fair.
Yeah.
We would. We're
Yeah.
committed enough to the bit that to do an entire game.
That's
Otherwise,
pretty
it's a
long.
walkthrough.
It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday.
Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act?
Has it ever crossed your mind that you use your running crop for the wrong purpose?
I'm using it for the correct purpose.
Don't ride your brother like a horse.
Eh.
It's a riding crop, so you will use it on your horse.
Anyway, Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he was in the habit of using it.
It looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. Rel convicted down in here.
I have collected the evidence that I need to prove that Rel was the killer. Between the handgun Rel had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one.
It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Bell was the killer in this case.
The sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rel is not the real Yatagarasu. Oops. History. History, come back.
History?
History.
Why button?
No
In
history.
herstory?
I am mashing the... Okay, there we go.
And it would appear that he had proof that Mr. Bell was not the Yatagarasu.
No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove that he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up.
And he apparently also had a very definitive piece of evidence.
It's been a long battle. I hope that this will finally bring it to an end.
Yes. I believe that Mr. Faraday was well prepared. To discredit any claim Mr. Bell may have made about being the real Yatagarasu.
And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rel was the guilty party in the embassy murder.
Ooh. This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later.
Didn't we just do that?
Yeah.
No, later.
Look, there's a picture stuck between these pages here.
It appears to be a key.
And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle.
The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu no key? Or is it key no... Yatagarasu's
No,
key, Mr. Faraday
it would
mentioned
be
his
Key no
organizer.
Yatagarasu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Is it... I can never remember.
It's backwards from English.
Mm-hmm.
The Yatagarasu's key?
Detective Pat's in Negalia.
What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kadopian embassy, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu sent the evidence.
Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others, knew about.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep this secret key safe.
And as the prosecutor on both the Yaragarasu and the smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected.
Key get.
He good.
That's odd.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer.
That certainly is odd.
The weapon that was used to kill the Cadopian embassy staff member was a gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from?
Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rell. That's the only logical conclusion, right?
No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked through thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside.
In that case, how do you suppose the knife ended up inside the courthouse?
Hey.
Oh.
I need to think carefully here. There's nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there's one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I would need to take another good look at the evidence.
Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have an answer for me?
Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca.
What? Then, what is it?
Yeah, one of these pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. It was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse.
Okay.
Is the key secretly the knife?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! It's a switchblade.
Yeah. Just present the key.
Or a butterfly knife. This Yetigaras, it even has butterflies on the handle.
Teehee.
This Yetigarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse.
You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth.
You just need to look a bit closer, Francisca, to see what I mean. Don't the color and ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything?
They do remind me of the knife.
Very good. Both the Yetigarasu's key in this photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yetigarasu's key, the only objects we found at the scene of the crime was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say...
It appears that you finally caught up to my brilliantly amazing brain. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are in fact one and the same!
But that's impossible!
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
It can't be!
Even if that is what you believe, we should still investigate the possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife in a little more detail. It's the weapon that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. Faraday. The handle and the blade itself both have beautiful designs worked into them.
Look, there's even a flower-shaped design in this gold section here. If this hadn't been used as a tool for murder, I'd want it for myself.
She seems to be drawn to the embellishments. Too bad this isn't mine to give.
Could it possibly be that there's...
Very close.
Oh, I can't actually
button?
look at this.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Wow.
Nice.
I can't believe it turned into a key. To think there was such a trick to this thing.
So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key Yatagarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned out until now.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
Frankly, I'm shocked.
Hi, shocked from Edgeworth.
Oh, very funny.
Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside.
But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday.
Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about this key than even Mr. Faraday. Meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief, Yatagarasu.
Then maybe Mr. Rel really was the Yatagarasu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario?
No, not really. Especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, as Detective Bad said earlier,
But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was.
I see. All right then. I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatagarasu.
it seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case.
Got him.
Aren't I witty?
Wow, all that for the wallet, huh?
Let's go.
I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started.
Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it.
I suppose I should explain it to you then.
Yes, you should. Perfectly and in its entirety, if you please.
Yeah, on the night of September 8th, oh, so handsome. An embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy.
I died.
I
A
wonder why
staff
this guy
member
died.
died of the staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart.
What's
he
his
got it shot in
name?
the heart.
And you're to blame.
It was very shocking, I assure
A
you.
bad name.
Mac Rel. Oh. He's nervously close to the gun. Mac Rel was brought to midnight as a suspect and fairly questioned.
Did he get shot or stabbed?
No matter what, both weapons are pointing towards him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Man, I'm dead.
Super dead.
Because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot.
A simpleton of a man. That's what he was.
Perhaps it was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence he had. Mr. Red was caught in the act on film by a security camera.
He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice a security camera. Anybody who's willing to commit a crime should notice a security camera. Not that I would know.
The Cadopian Embassy's security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area.
So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself?
Yes, the surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Vell on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear.
So, the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life.
Me either. Neither.
Neither.
Me either.
That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court.
The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
Home.
The video showing the moment in which Mr. Rella committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed?
Hi. Are you done with your inspection of the evidence?
Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I am missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence.
Your Honor, were you derelict in your duties?
What? No, I dare not. Not lick my.
Like the horse? Like the
You
horse?
dare not lick a gift horse in the mouth?
My tongue stays firmly in my mouth. What do you take me for?
No, Your Honor, the most important piece of evidence in today's trial. The surveillance video is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me.
But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene?
There's something wrong here.
Gomez, hush.
Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I'll have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime, defendant lobby number 2!
Off we go.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Bunch of arcs in here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's September.
That's Detective Bad, but who is he with?
I've never seen that officer before.
So, did you find it?
No, not yet, and I've looked everywhere.
I see. Well then, please continue with the search.
Understood. I'll continue the search. So you're the one running the show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed at crime scenes.
I'm sorry, who the fuck are you? How dare you? Who do you think you are?
Bye.
Bye.
Better than you.
It's true.
What was that all about? Who was that man just now?
Whoever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life.
Does he even know that we're standing right here behind him?
I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids?
It looks like you were paying attention after all.
He's got a mirror.
Of course I was. I've seen you in the mirror. It's a good trick, right? I have eyes in the back of my head.
Ah, so that mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out on who or what is behind him at all times. So detect me, Mr. Oh.
Oh boy.
So detect me, Mr. Bell.
Listen,
Oh, I
it's
will.
been a day.
am.
So tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now?
Detects you. the guy came here from the Republic of Zhangfa to study. He's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of detainment from scratch.
By visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication.
He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. That guy's more useful than Gumshoe, even if he is rude.
Be nice to Gumshoe.
Never.
Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time.
I agree, however. I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad?
Earlier, that little girl was poking around in lobby number 1 as well.
Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you.
Well, how did that has nothing to do with me? Fine. If this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity to draw out what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him.
So close, oh my god.
Earlier, you were in lobby number 1, and now you're here in lobby number 2.
You're a little close.
No.
You're quite the busy man, Detective Bad.
That's better. Appreciate that.
Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say.
I see!
Even better.
In that case, you wouldn't mind if I... Okay, is that too far? I think it's too far.
Yeah,
You wouldn't mind
that's
if I
good for the
asked
bit.
about what happened again, correct?
I don't have anything left to say to you, boy.
Boy, you'll see. I will draw my answer out from you one way or another.
Boy.
Boy.
My daddy will hear of this.
Would it kill
My
you to help us
stepdaddy.
even a little tiny bit in our investigation?
I already turned the guy down. What's he gonna do? I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think?
Ugh!
Please, we're asking you for just a bit more of your cooperation.
Don't push me, kid.
Tell us about the time of the murder.
I'd like to ask once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime.
Fuck
I
you.
refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about?
Things you don't know about, but aren't you supposed to know everything?
He should. Wait, is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. I should try showing it to
Can I give
him.
her the hint?
It may prove to be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bad.
Where's the laugh track, Jay?
Thank you.
That's
Master Mask!
Master Mask!
Is that the Yatagarasu?
Oh my god!
Detective Bad. Did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph?
If you haven't seen us play Ace Attorney 2, that like makes no sense, right?
Sure doesn't. Sure doesn't.
I mean,
but it's funny
you're
to us.
expected to have seen the original
Right.
trilogy before going on to this.
Yeah,
right?
but if you didn't see our playthrough of it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Go watch
Yeah.
that playthrough. It's funny.
You have homework now. Get to it.
Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case.
Daily reminder that.
In that case, let me ask you something.
Oh, how out of order are we really playing this series? I mean, I guess we played
Not
Apollo
two.
Justice.
We started
played,
at the end, kind of.
We played Spirit of Justice
That's
a few years
right.
before
Yeah,
we
that's
started this
true.
actual series.
And then we started over. And then after. We
Three,
went
we
on to
played
Chronicles, and then
Apollo.
we went on to the second
So
trilogy.
quite.
A little bit out of order, but mostly.
Yeah,
out of
but
order.
At least this one and or Chronicles. If that was
Yeah,
it.
Chronicles has nothing to do with this series.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grace was good. Yeah.
Well,
Anyways.
In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagarasu's key are one and the same?
What?
Oh!
That's impossible. Oh.
It looks like he didn't know after all.
This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife.
A knife.
Knife, you say? Ah.
Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarasu's key to prove that Mr. Rella was not the real Yatagarasu. Isn't that correct?
I guess so.
However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was, in fact, a knife.
Yeah, I have to admit, neither one of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How did we miss something as big as this?
I noticed that since a little while ago, you appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you were searching for.
Yeah, that's right.
And why were you searching for it?
Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. I'm a little bit bad at protecting things, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you are called Detective Bad.
Yeah. I can't even protect my coat. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life?
Detective Bad. So that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more. Testify!
All right, I'll testify. But it doesn't matter
Testify!
how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing'll change.
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Detective Bad. Ask that you please testify once more, please. I just want you to testify
Pretty please.
about what happened
Sure.
in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1.
Well, I like doing the voice, so I guess it's fine. My answer's still the same. And this is the last time I'm gonna do this.
That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up. I have to find the truth behind this case.
Ooh. I was in lobby number 1 talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran into lobby number 2.
It sounds like the exact same story he told us before.
Indeed. However, I feel that we have yet to draw all the information that we can.
Yeah, this is the first bit of gameplay this stream.
It has been nothing
Oh.
but text
It
since
has
we
been
started.
only text.
Yeah.
We have inspected the other
That's true.
stuff.
We looked at the knife for a bit. That
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, for like a second.
Yeah.
Why did Miss Yu choose lobby number 1? Answer me!
Who knows? She just said that she had something she wanted to talk to me about. And we walked into lobby number 1 together. That's all.
So his answer remains the same as before, I assume.
What were you talking about?
You can tell me.
I was hoping you could expand on what exactly you were discussing with Ms. Yu.
Trivial stuff. It was nothing important.
That's for me to decide.
Hmm.
Francisca, you want in on this? Alright, I suppose that's for him to just. Alright, I suppose that's for him to decide. Moving on, then.
Don't want to talk about that.
Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary?
I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
If the gunshot that Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder, then that would mean the other piece of evidence that would give that other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning.
Wait, what did you just say?
Yeah.
Gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder that would give the other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning.
I say you please amend your testimony with the testimony to know.
Aye.
Whatever you said.
Yeah, sure. I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
What about that? Hold on. I forgot what the button was for a second. What about the balloon? I almost just want to present this. This pop.
Can make a bang. You go
Yeah.
pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
Pop.
Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything?
It's the same color as the one Kay was holding.
Oh, so you knew about that girl's balloon?
Yeah. I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her.
Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon.
So, what about the balloon?
I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point.
What are you getting at?
This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot.
Oh, so the sound that the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh?
On top of that, His Honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene.
Yes, which means that His Honor heard this balloon pop in the hallway. When you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad. And if you were in lobby number 1 at the time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well.
So?
Don't give me a so.
We just proved that there's a flaw in your testimony.
Give me a me or a law or something.
Well, the crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivete cracking. What? What?
You heard him.
And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so rugged? That's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked.
What is that supposed to mean?
The doors and walls are super thick. The window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound absorbing material.
Then, you mean...
Streamers use this room. I mean, since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound.
No!
I knew that's what he was going to say, and I was still surprised.
Then that means that Scruffface's testimony is completely useless. If the rooms are soundproof, then of course he wouldn't hear any sign of a struggle.
No!
But that's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping. Now do you get it, kids?
Miles, I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic, not the other way around.
Oh, we really messed up this time, Francis.
We've
Turn
been
the things
bamboozled.
around.
Oh.
The other way around. Franziska, I'm afraid we've been smeckledorfed.
No, it can't be.
Oh,
It's a
but
word we
again.
learned in Germany. It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if we're in lobby number 1. However, if we examine the situation in reverse, the person sitting in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. And yet Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad. If that is the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot?
What do you mean, how? I just did.
It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words.
Oh, how so?
If the rooms are as soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears?
I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I had thought.
Which means
So-
what
so
exactly,
close.
Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to?
It boils down to this. I am behind him.
Get out
Yeah,
from there.
peekaboo. It boils down to this. There must be a reason as to how Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they theoretically couldn't have.
It looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again, huh?
Ugh. The state of the crime scene? Wait, can it be?
It's that ultra strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it.
Gumshoe.
Ooh, wow. Ooh, ah.
And way too noisy.
The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
Did I step away while there was a flashback that I was supposed to speak for?
No,
No.
you're good.
Okay, I'm stepping back again. Bye.
Is the video in the TV?
No!
Oh.
Not exactly a shining example of the perfect line of logic.
No, come on.
Ow.
The window was open. Yes. And the TV was loud. Yes. What do you mean?
Oh.
Hang on. Just one moment.
Okay. You already read that anyway. Scent of flowers. Oh, yeah,
She craves attention.
there we go.
Oh.
Yeah. It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through the barred windows. And yet the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course! Incorporeal things can move freely through those open barred
Oh,
windows.
Really? I have to make that connection first. open windows. So the loud TV and the open window. Please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now then, what else besides the smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound.
No.
So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations.
Okay. But where did it originate from? The missing evidence.
Saps, take bad for a minute.
I'll do my best.
The missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Mr. Bell killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it played during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess, and brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, then it's possible the tape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence that the missing evidence created for me is the gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place.
Miles, what are you still doing back behind there?
I'm examining the jacket.
So many holes, huh?
So many holes.
And what have you
How
been
are you
thinking?
alive?
Stop wasting time hiding and thinking, and let's start looking again.
It's not a waste of time to hide and think, for I have figured out where we should look.
And where would that be?
Turns on the TV.
Look at his feet. He's got his foot between his. I'm uncomfortable.
I don't have a joke to add to this. This is just so funny on its own. I believe we should examine the television.
The TV. There, can you see properly now?
You're standing on my foot.
Good. Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't rest. Crap.
Start
I
resting.
refuse to rest.
I have insomnia. It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside.
It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end.
This tape, could it not be the missing surveillance tape?
I suppose, but
Detective Bad, would it be alright with you if I verify the contents of this video?
Okay, knock yourself out.
all right. Then let's rewind this and see what we have.
If I remember correctly, the footage of Rel killing the embassy staff member should be at about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape.
Understood. This should be about right. Now then, let's see.
There it is.
This is the footage of Mr. Rel shooting the embassy staff member.
I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along.
There it is.
This sound. What's the meaning of this?
It appears that Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder.
Do you mean that you figured it all out then?
Yes, all I have to do now is show what the gunshot what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from.
Fine. In that case, show me what you've deduced.
To show what the gunshot. Yes, Detective Gunshot. How goes the investigation?
I'd rather we not talk about it, pal.
I was fully expecting just a series of gunshot sounds as if that's how they respond. Now, to show what the gun... I almost did it again. Detective Gun Show. Now, to show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. Would rest.
No resting.
Whoops. I guess we're reading this.
Just as with the spilled perfume in lobby number 1, if the windows were open, that piece of evidence's sound would also dissipate out. Now show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so do you want me to... Oops, not there.
Oop.
No.
This spot?
Is this connected to any evidence?
Oh, you mean this spot?
This spot?
Evidence?
Could it be?
Could it?
Ah, damn it.
Last remaining contradiction in this case!
Oh, I see
Whoa!
what you want me to do.
Miles, I believe that piece may actually be proof of a different last of sorts.
Hmm?
It proves today will be your last day as a prosecutor.
It appears I've made a mistake. However, nevertheless, riddle and its answer lies somewhere in this room. I need to calm down and think it through once more.
You want me to put this here? Duh. Blah 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 blah.
If the door and the windows of the crime scene, namely this room that we're in, were closed, you could have used the gun and no one would have been the wiser.
That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were.
However, what happened in reality was... Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot.
Well, the windows in lobby number 1, 2, and the hallway were open. So naturally, the people in those locations would hear it.
But then why would the criminal open the window in the first place?
To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose.
Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this.
But why was that necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction.
Very well. I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What was it the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of?
When the crime took place.
The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes. And they used the gunshot in the surveillance video to do so.
So, that's why the tape was left running.
You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video?
Yes, which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period, and planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer.
Heal me, please. Thank
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Appreciate it.
Buffalo.
Buff.
Buffly.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Yes, what is it?
Hi. Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom. She says that she has identified the murderer, but that she wants to clarify something.
It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something.
Understood. Please tell her that would be right over.
I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say.
It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth.
To be continued.
continued again.
That's a short one.
Mm-hmm. They like to be funny with how
Confrontation.
they do this every now and then.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
Yes, that's my
You!
name.
You.
Which one?
Kay? What are you doing here?
Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating.
Kay? You? Where are the rest of the letters?
Mm.
But the object you're looking for has already...
Hold it. Kay, don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation.
Okay, you got it.
2 letters?
Bye.
Job. Bye.
Detective Bad, haven't we already found what you were looking for?
If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do.
Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought.
Oh, we're just gonna stand here and talk from across the room?
Yeah.
I'm not even getting behind the bench. Just gonna stand in the middle of the room.
And Judge, you
You're
want to know this?
distracting. Judge has left the building.
I am sitting over here.
I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth.
I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest.
The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest? Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we more than solved this case already. Don't you?
We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds.
Oh, I see we even have a viewer in the gallery. And why, even Mr. Bad is here.
A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly just a bystander.
She's co-counsel.
I have a duty to see this case through to the end, no matter how it turns out.
Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements during the time when our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there is no possible route to escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must have, without a doubt, be Detective Gumshoe.
And that's all you have?
Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion, and this case.
Sorry, but I beg to differ. In
Don't
a trial,
waggle.
there is always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of court in this case, don't you think?
How absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing. But alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony.
If my logic is correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is prove it by showing who the real killer is.
Everyone sensed the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have been thoroughly investigated, right? I also confirmed that there is no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth.
But of course. There's no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump cards she has up her sleeve.
Okay, well, I was just gonna immediately present the fact that the time of the murder was not when we thought it was right here, but the game has just now said not to do that, so I guess I'll press.
They go like, we know this is obvious, but don't.
Yeah.
The suspect? But I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi has already been proven.
You're joking, Edgeworth!
I assure you this is no joke.
Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier. The detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll.
Yes, that is correct.
But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is, there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since that snacking.
I see she's done her research well. Which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she's withholding.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep pressing.
Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide.
The scrunched eyebrows and lines on your forehead are back. Anyway, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect.
But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through a window and into the garden?
That's the first place everyone looked, silly! The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibility, you know. Isn't that right, Mr. Bad? Ah!
I'm here.
Yeah. I'm over here.
When did...
Teleport's behind you.
Nani?
Snaps your neck.
For fun, you see.
There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. Flips over the oh no. There also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden.
Climbs into a cardboard box and disappears.
Where did he go?
He just disappeared.
I suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to the case.
I also confirmed there is no possible blah 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 blah.
Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape?
Of course I'm sure.
And why are you so certain?
This is a courthouse, a place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal will be using it to escape. It's just common sense.
Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future.
Ow! Yeah!
Hold it!
You may think it's unshakable, but to me, there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand?
But you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing.
Do you know?
I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose we've really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you about the subject.
Ah, but there were witnesses. For you, there is your mentor who gave you an alibi.
I see.
As a little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard.
I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or a boffily for anyone else.
It's strange how it's not pronounced how it's spelled, isn't it, Francisca?
Yes, it is strange. I've always wondered that.
Wait, so basically, the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor. By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty?
What about them?
Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time?
What kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went to the lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot, to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived on the scene, we dashed from lobby number 1. The only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard that gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when that gunshot you heard went off? What then? That gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception of the
Objection! Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1. Care to explain how that could have been fabricated?
Sure,
Did you remember what
Yes.
you did literally 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, take that.
If you didn't, you would have been hurt. Is that tape?
Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. Rell the prosecution presented in today's trial. If this was found loaded into the video player in lobby number 2, and it was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up.
You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard from the gunshot in the video.
Ah, but I do. Which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot.
That's the only thing I can think of too. Teleports behind you as well.
After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television's volume all the way up, and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on. And since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe.
Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right?
Of course we knew. Didn't we, Miles?
Yes, of course. We know all about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's rooms. Of course, I'm not about to admit that we had no idea until only a little while ago.
That's right, and if the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet we heard the gunshot clear as day.
And?
And? That's it, end of story!
But it's not.
My makeup is getting heavy.
How should I explain why she's able to hear a gunshot in a soundproof room? The window was
The
open.
window is open.
There's a hole in the wall!
There is, actually, one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it is that despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Speed makeup. Now, we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also opened.
It's probably just coincidence that they were both open at the same time.
It was no mere coincidence, I assure you.
Luigi, thank you.
Why was the
It
window
is
open
you.
in lobby number 1?
Luigi.
Hello.
Thunder! Good.
The answer is that a certain person did something to cause the window to be open. And the person who triggered that action, that person is the real guilty party. The real killer in this double murder is...
Could it be?
You!
Who?
Miss Callisto, you! I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
What?
You indict me?
Are you
Miss-
serious, Miles? Why do you think she is the killer?
I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she is the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now?
Of course I do, Edgeworth.
My argument must not be tight enough yet. Tighten up!
Although, I never thought things would spiral into this.
Gotta keep this argument tight!
But I'll have you know, I'm enjoying this dance. Quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for me my own rebuttal now, right? You argue that the window was open. However, do you have any proof of it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have any proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this. Especially with logic as full of holes as yours. Almost as much as Mr. Bad over there.
This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second, or the truth will blow away. Now it is time to put the patented Von Comma perfect proof to the test!
We don't have proof that you opened the window, but we
But-
do have a reason for someone to have opened the window because of you.
Yoo-hoo!
Should I just present this here?
I don't see why not.
Yeah!
Yeah!
I tried to get to that point of the transcript, and it just showed just that statement and present evidence.
I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you? You?
Edgeworth! I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know.
This isn't mine. No.
That's
could be.
right. It's mine, and I received it from Detective Bad, you see.
We can share. Miss you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much is for sure. That you are the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Bad.
And that you're super easy to rile up. So, what about the perfume?
While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some perfume. That's according to Detective Bad.
Oh, I know.
You also knew that if you spill it, he would naturally move to open a window.
Come now, I already told you that's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know? So maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard a gunshot through the window.
The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time.
You mean?
Miss you. You were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. When you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you.
You accused me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday.
Would you care to testify as to why?
Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow wary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this a last testimony and wrap this absurd case once and for all.
All right.
Accusing someone of murder with a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected for the disciple of Von Karma. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from.
Miles, her testimony is flawless.
Is it now?
Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. And if I'm lacking in information, I'll just draw it out of her.
I guess we press.
I think I already explained the significance of that earlier.
You only confirmed that I did spill some perfume. But that's all. That you would accuse me of murder based on a simple spill. Don't you dare complain when I sue you for defamation of character.
Do as you like, but as for me, I want to believe.
You believe?
I believe that you are the true culprit in this case.
My, you're enthusiastic. Of course, I should have guessed.
I formally request that you desist in your attack against my mentor.
Yes, or we'll sue you for defamation.
All I'm doing is telling the truth. Well, maybe more like the spreading gossip.
That which is defamation.
Hearsay. Although, your adamant denials are, shall we say, just adding fuel to the fire.
How dare you?
Say such a thing.
Calm down, you two. Don't let her get to you. Your dad kind of sucks.
I do not.
No, you do.
Why did you have to ruin my fun? Well, shall I continue?
And why exactly could you not have killed him?
I was just about to testify that. You're such an impatient man. I'm not really into that, you know, Edgeworth.
Your preferences have no bearing on what is at hand.
Feeling a little uncomfortable, are we?
Miss Yu, you will desist in this tomfoolery and return to your testimony. And Miles, if you're going to lose your cool, then I won't show you any mercy.
Sorry. Miss Yu, please continue with your testimony.
Sure. As I was saying, I couldn't have possibly killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from.
At this rate, she will inevitably escape. But if she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag.
Miles, what do you think you're doing?
I'm drawing the truth out of her, that's what I'm doing.
Huh? Well, I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today.
Well, I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use.
So that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you just cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key that Yatagrasa had sent. And unless the key can magically turn into a knife, you don't really have a leg to stand on. Do you really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest.
I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you just said to your testimony.
Sure, why not? I'll even say it as many times as you like. There was a key in his evidence bag, but you can't kill anyone with a simple key.
Oh, really?
Sora.
Can't do that.
This ain't
impossible.
Kingdom Hearts.
Key beam.
Key knife.
Key knife.
Knife?
A key knife.
Miss
I've heard
Yu,
a keyblade.
I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key that the Yatagarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it in fact has the secret ability to transform into a knife. Which means that what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag was both the Yatagarasu's key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not?
Yes.
Well, with the Yatagarasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Do you understand now? Objection. Just knowing of the existence of the Yatagarasu's key...
I still haven't had a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, you could be lying for all I know.
You would, even now, still feign ignorance?
I'm not feigning anything! We can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I heard some very interesting rumors about him.
Are you mocking my papa?
Yeah.
Don't you dare sully the good name of my mentor.
He'd do a
Now
good
take a
enough
good-
job himself.
He's done nothing bad. He wouldn't ever kill anyone or forge evidence or lie in court. Or get an ouchie and not go to the doctor. Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real.
Wow, who knew there was such a trick to this thing?
Are you satisfied now? But of course you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Yatagrasu's key are one and the same. Otherwise, someone like you, who isn't a member of law enforcement, and who would never have been privy to this trick, would have never known about it to begin with. Furthermore, there's something that the Yatagarasu sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was?
Actually, I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. But he didn't tell me about how the key actually transforms.
What you are saying is simply not possible.
Oh? And why not?
Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. For within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife.
I'm not sure he would have written anything with everything in this organizer, you know? Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. What would have been highly classified information even within the police force. And is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition?
Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh?
How can you laugh at a time like this?
She probably just realized the flaw in her logic and is actually in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with.
I suppose you're right. Miss Yu. I'd like to state that I also know how you know the real nature of the knife.
Do you now? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me?
Well, I will. And I'll wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it. The moment of truth. The secret behind the Yatagrasu's key. Only one person would have had knowledge of it from the get-go. Who would know from the start that the Yatagrasu's key could change into a knife?
The Yatagarasu.
Yatagarasu. There is only one person who would have known about the dual nature of the key.
And that is?
And that is the person who sent the Yatagarasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Yatagarasu herself.
Are you saying that this lawyer is the great thief Yatagarasu?
Miss Yu. You used Mr. Red to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You who to bear a grudge against criminals. Why? Why do something like this?
Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill. It's even greater than when I sneak into some place.
You killed Faraday? Why? Answer me, Callisto, you!
Callisto you, huh? That's not my real name. Because my real identity is, yes, the great thief Yadagarasu.
Gosh, she's so cool!
Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he had discovered my true identity. Which is why I had to raise him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer, an acquittal for a little favor in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yadagarasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rel caves to only two things, money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held onto Rel any longer. Plus, if I had let them continue on the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both.
But didn't you say that you despised criminals?
But do I really?
You... Have you forgotten about the KG-8 incident too?
Maybe.
What sort of woman would?
So then, was it your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent?
Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yadagarasu by using this Yadagarasu key as evidence, and that he would bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to talk with Mr. Faraday. And in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yadagarasu key just like that. He never noticed I had changed the key into a knife inside that plastic bag.
Oh.
And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life.
How could you kill him?
I knew him for a long time, you know? At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death.
But if you killed Mr. Faraday first, there was no need for you to kill Mr. Rel as well.
I believe I mentioned why when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness, and how that led the killer to think about setting them up as though they'd kill each other.
Then the trick with the surveillance tape.
Yes, I hadn't actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of that surveillance tape. Which is why I had Rel help me set up the crime scene. And after all was said and done, I rewarded him with all his work with a bullet.
You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you betray a client?
Client? If you want to talk about who was a client of whose first, it was me. I was the client in the murder of the Codopian embassy staff member, Deadman.
You ordered a hit job?
You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had Deadman killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination?
It can't be. You're...
That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring.
What?
How could this?
You don't mean... You're working with Manny Cochin too, do you?
Maybe not. Guess you'll never know.
She's just admitting all of this.
Yeah. The Yatagarasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded murderer.
That's right, little girl. The other girl is just another killer.
Be quiet. You...
Yatagarasu. You can run from the law, but you'll never escape it. So just humbly accept the judgment of this court.
Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know? The other girl has 3 legs. Do you know why that is?
Nani?
No? Well, let me tell you. It means that the Yatagarasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work.
Ah,
What does this have to do with having 3 legs?
You really are too naive, Edgeworth. You even handed the Yatagarasu key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it.
You mean the key was your real target?
And even after I gave you such a great advice. Didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal?
I knew that was gonna come back.
Or you may regret what comes of your negligence.
You two, get down!
My body, I can't move.
hey, mister! To your right!
You!
Bye!
Hell no, you get back here.
Are you alright, Franziska?
I'm perfectly fine, Miles.
Her voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? That's a gunshot!
It's September.
Hey, that's when we start streaming.
Yeah.
There's another hole.
Look at all these broad-shouldered men.
She got away.
But it looks like she got away.
Useless.
I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon.
Detective Bad. Are you alright? I heard a gunshot.
I'm okay. Just got another hole in my jacket.
It all comes full circle.
I will say, he's sweating a little bit too much for it to be just a hole in the jacket.
Today is a pretty high average for collecting, though, honestly. I do admit.
Yeah, that one shootout they were talking about was an outlier and shouldn't be counted.
Yeah. I'm wondering if I should count today.
You may say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken.
But more importantly, boy, I mean, Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma, are you two hurt?
I'm absolutely fine.
She lied.
I'm also all right, thanks to Kay.
Speaking of Kay, where is she?
I don't know. She just sort of disappeared.
I'll go look for her. Oh, and hey, Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir. Detective Bad, sir, hello.
Have a Swiss roll for the road. Sorry I doubted ya.
My God.
Take care of yourself, bud.
Aw.
Got that, Jay.
Don't worry, sir. It wasn't your fault. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all. With a kid.
Heard about what happened from Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective.
Yeah.
Now, don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay?
Okay.
No, you got it, Paps.
Pops. Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we?
Detective Dad.
Detective Dad.
Way to single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere with one snarky comment.
I should get back to the investigation. I swear, I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do.
No, not me.
But no, it is confusing, I admit.
Be careful, Detective Bad, and take care.
Thanks, you too. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday.
Probably not.
Bye.
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 Ta-ta.
Yes, so, thank the bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything.
Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison.
Aw.
Sad.
I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe.
It was no problem, really. I mean, I lied too, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor.
Well, even if we didn't have His Honor's testimony, I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf.
Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective.
Well, as long as you're not fired. You should work hard, give all that you have, and perform your duties well. Oh, and one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me.
She did? Ooh. What is it?
What did the Kay left for me? The proof of their friendship. This
It's a
gun.
Tony badge.
Is
The
the
balloon.
Swiss roll?
Yeah.
It's the courthouse special Swiss roll. Can I really have the thing that I bought
Immediately
with my money?
drops it. Yes, it's a present meant for you, after all.
Thanks, bud. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pale. I'm gonna.
Sure, go ahead.
That means the Swiss roll is no longer here with us, Jay.
Still got the package.
It's
Well, you
always
are what
around,
you eat.
pal.
Haha, haha.
The Swiss rolls Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. Well, the one Kay is saved and never reached her father. It would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective.
He's so happy. It's as though he's having a welcome back celebration of its own.
It's
Swiss
disgusting.
roll.
It's like watching a wild hyena scoff at a carcass. Disgusting. Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him.
So good, Pale. I can't believe I got to eat 2 of those delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something.
Switzerland.
I've got to thank Kay myself. Nay, wait, where is she?
You only noticed just now? Was this not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left to go search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join him.
Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna go help him. But first, you know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh?
Look at
I'm
him.
gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
Aww.
I love you.
'Cause you
Gumshoe.
fed me. Master has given Dobby a Swiss roll.
I sense that nothing but the most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement.
We should go home too, Miles. We have to hurry and report what has happened to Papa.
Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective.
Roger, sir, and don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we're on for real well. Yeah.
I'll be counting on you.
I'll be
The
counting.
scent of trouble is definitely in the air. I'm realizing that Gumshoe is Edgeworth's Larry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end.
Wait.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yes, Jay.
Isn't he more like the Maya?
Well, okay.
I think here K is the Maya.
Yeah.
Now, but yeah.
Edgeworth can have 2 Mayas.
So lucky.
K is Pearl.
K is perfect.
Ah, yeah, K.
We cracked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was joking earlier that every lawyer needs a funny girl sidekick, and it's important that everybody understand that Phoenix was Maya's funny little girl sidekick.
Do you mean Mia?
Mia, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, don't pull on me.
It's been a minute.
But what about a few months later?
A few months later. A few months later. I was
Did the
finally able to...
$5 under the vending machine never come back?
Nope.
Did that
Why not?
never come
Nah.
into play in any way?
Nah.
Why are you thinking
If
about
only
The
this?
guy
he
digging for
looked-
the $5?
If only he looked underneath the vending machine, he could have had 2 whole Swiss
He
rolls
could have had-
to himself.
He could have.
Mhm.
He could have.
Well, if he had another dollar on top, but like that I was holding on to that this entire time. That was gonna be
Well,
something.
he had-
And
He
why?
had his own
Thing.
$5, and there was an additional $5 underneath the machine.
Well, I thought it was
Yeah,
gonna be
and now I
like he
need to-
dropped his $5, and then Kay had $5, but then his $5 was lost somewhere, and he didn't want to admit that he had lost his bonus.
Edgeworth's like,
I was
all right,
waiting
so
forever.
how many dollars were in the courthouse at this point? I've lost track.
I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I've tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me.
Oh.
But I suppose that's just how things are.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now...
Hey, do you remember over here?
Hi.
Hey.
So, do you remember now?
Yes, I remember everything. Kay, it's been a while.
Okay, you've grown up a lot.
Of course. But thank goodness. I thought you two had totally forgotten about me.
We didn't have the flashback yet. You know, I was really worried about you after all, Dad. Where have you been all this time?
Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They lived really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back here all that much.
Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad that you're all right.
She's not a fae, is she?
Hey.
K-fae.
Fake coded.
So, does it all make sense now?
Well, but there's only one question of how you became the Yatagarasu to somebody who doesn't actually like you. Like,
Don't worry about that.
how did you do that? What did you?
Don't worry about that.
Did you steal it? Is that how it works?
No.
You steal it and then you own it and then
No.
like all that and. Okay, well, I mean, you betcha it does. I guess.
Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently and...
Actually, there's
What? No, step back. What?
unintentional, and I'm sorry. Pardon me.
It's okay.
Actually, there are still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay.
Yeah.
Edgy,
First-
ew.
First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? The Yatagarasu is Callisto you, the woman who killed your father.
No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu was my father.
Nani?
Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu.
Still a Swiss roll, love it.
Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelves recently. And I found a secret diary hidden amongst his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure.
But that's impossible!
What's with that look? You don't believe me?
No! It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now.
All right then. How do you explain this?
It's a way of disarming any security system of the user's choosing?
Yup, that's Little Thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father.
Wow, Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor. He really was a great thief too, huh?
Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth. And steal the truth. But he was
Steal it
killed.
too.
And the Yatagarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently.
Someone other than you?
Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article.
The Yatagarasu sent the embassy a calling card.
Yeah, meaning this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto You Lady is behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out.
But the Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves.
Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up, and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out, so that I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone could help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
So you're saying that I have your father's and misuse identities backwards?
Yes, because the real Yatagarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real noble Yatagarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace.
Kay.
Kay, you're so honorable. I don't care what everyone else thinks. I will always be here to cheer you on, pal.
Even if you are honorable, a thief is a thief. And if you're plotting to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, you guys are not making it easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now?
Mr. Edgeworth, what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman.
That evil woman? You mean Callisto you?
I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me?
Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you.
Huh? Owe me for what?
When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I am not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid.
Then you mean...
Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you.
Mr. Edgeworth, thank you!
Yay, Miss Edwards. Isn't that great, Kay?
Yeah, it sure is, Gummy.
Even though I had completely forgotten about her until just now. What is with their chummy relationship?
They're friends.
Lands.
The great thief Yatgarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Baron Faraday, Callisto Yu, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatagarasu.
Know what?
And the Yatagarasu's real goal. It would all come to light the day after I made that promise to Kay. Real quick turnaround on that.
The
Dun, dun, dun.
end.
Fiend.
Oh,
Return.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Next
Sorry,
time, return to
yeah.
March.
Perfectly timed.
March. And what's the next turnabout? Ablaze!
Wait,
Ooh.
no. Stop.
It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Well.
Wow,
I like
cool.
that trial a lot. I think it's really
That was a good one.
I like
It-
this game.
This game's
good.
great.
Yeah. Maybe it focused on Swiss rolls for a little bit longer than
little.
anticipated.
It was
But-
important.
Was it?
Not
Very. Exactly.
Fair enough.
All right. What are we doing tomorrow?
Oh, let's see here.
It's Wednesday. Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Zelda.
That is A Link Between Worlds tomorrow. Why isn't this menu playing any music?
Doesn't need it.
Yatagarasu stole it.
We found it.
You Yatagrasso.
We found the music.
Yay.
Woohoo.
What kind of soup? Flashback soup?
Probably also Yatagrasu soup.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yatagrasu.
I know.
Soup.
Oh.
Yatagarasu soup.
But
Hell yeah.
it could also be, you know,
Swiss
Do we
roll
have
soup.
Swiss roll soup?
We already had
Last-
that.
We already
You know,
did
we can
Swiss
have,
roll soup.
we can have
I
two
mean-
Swiss roll soups though.
Uh,
there's
you
always
never-
reheated
Last time.
You
leftovers.
do
Yada got
buy
Swiss soup.
2 Swiss rolls when you pay the $6.
That's true.
So we can have 2 Swiss roll soups.
This time.
I'll chuck in $6 for that. Sure.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Yum. Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye.
Yeah.